guys. This is a live webinar that I promised to have with you. And today I like to have a one-on-one conversation with people all over the world, and that's why I'm using the the program, the Zoom, to stream this to you. So I want to have a one-on-one conversation with people. So if you want to, I would just edit the video. Under the video, I will add on it what we call the video link. So if you want to talk with me, then just click on the video link. You should be able to talk with me there. Okay, so that will be the video link. So I just want to set this up. Just a moment, please. All right, I can see myself very clear. Using Zoom link. Okay, so I have a Zoom link placed under the video. I hope you can see it. If you refresh the screen, you will see it. And I also have a comment, and I'll see if I can pin the comment. I'm going to pin the comment. Okay, so I've pinned the comment. Exactly. So that's good. I've pinned the comment. So basically, I want this to be an interactive session. So the best way to join me is to click the link that you have there, and then you will be taken to the live session. And from the live session, you can have I'll see you pop in. And when I see you pop in, then we can have a conversation. If you have a question, then you're gonna ask that. Okay. We can have I'll see you pop in. And when I see you pop in, then we can have a conversation. Then you're gonna ask that. Okay. So yeah, I see that something went wrong there for a moment. So I see that it's okay here. I can see that it is live broadcast. People are seeing me live. And if you have anything, just let me know. So just give me a shout out if you are hearing what I'm saying, and if it is loud and clear. If you see my picture, just want to check my mobile here to ensure that I'm receiving loud and clear. I'm being received loud and clear because, I cannot do everything alone. I don't have assistant, so I'm like the jack of all trades. So, yeah. Okay. So I'll be waiting for the first caller to come in. And then so we can have a chat, because I really want to chat with you guys today. Normally I'm talking alone, everybody's listening to me. So I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion about what we are doing. Okay, so here I can see myself that I'm a Zoom, because with this I can actually see the commentary from other people. So I just set it up here so that I can see that. Okay, so I can see the commentary from other people as well. Okay. Okay, that's about it. See that I have Fumi and they will see. I can hear you, Edwin. I'm Mimi, Edwin and Mimi. So I hope I pronounced the name very well. Edwin so yeah, so the reason I'm doing this today is because we have this $1 million thing going on, and which I really want all of us to participate on it. Okay. So first of all, what I want you to do is this. if you join the conference, let me know that you want to talk. There's a way you can raise your hands up, because I just don't want to buzz you and say, hey, you want to talk? So I want to know if you want to talk, and the way to do that is basically to buzz me, to raise your hand up. There's a way that you raise a hand up as a participant. Then I know that you want to talk to me. I know you want to talk to the audience. I know you want to be on live. Then I can click on you to be on live. Otherwise, if I put you on live and you don't want to be on live, then it's going to be wahala. Okay. So we have here Tom Farrow. Tom Farrow, say hi. Nice to see you. This is the first time I'm seeing Tom Farrow. You know, I can't remember. I came across the name before. Okay, Tom is live, so I like that very much. And so our idea today, you know, I want to start with this. This morning I made a video, which in a way it was a passionate video, and say, okay, I titled it what we're going to do with the money. Because people, you know, a lot of Nigerians have this idea that, oh, if people are getting money, they're going to steal it, because in their environment, the only thing they've ever seen in life is people stealing their money. people stealing their money. So for a typical Nigeria, anytime the pastor is stealing the money, okay, the governor is stealing the money, the president is stealing, everybody's stealing the money. So therefore, every time they hear somebody is collecting money, then they think, he's going to steal the money. And so, you know, I cannot blame them for that. But that's why I came out to say, okay, this is what we're going to do with the money. And some people say, you know, some people don't believe it, but, you know, and I think when you don't believe it, you actually make it more difficult, because that means that we never can get anything right. Okay, we never can get anything right. So we need to start becoming a little bit a believer in ourselves as a people, that look, we can get great things done as a people, and we can get great things done. You see, the thing is that when people donate money, if they want, they can donate more. They can donate their time. If somebody's afraid, say, okay, look, if I donate $5 or £5, somebody's going to steal the money and run away. Then I think, why not donate your time? No, you know, donate your time. Come, let's go to Nigeria and do the work together. I would love that. I would love to be able to have 100 people who say, okay, look, we're coming along. I want to spend 2-3 weeks in Nigeria, and I want to contribute with what I know. Maybe you are an architect and you want to help us, you know, design the location for the project we want to do. And you can come along. Maybe you are a psychiatric doctor, and you say, oh, you know what? Those people coming from Libya, they've all gone through horrors, and these horrors they have gone through, this mental torture. We need people to help them process that. I know in Nigeria nobody cares about anybody. Say, the man, they say, don't touch him. That is the best people can say to each other. But we want to be more caring. So maybe there's a facility we need to set up to take care of them. Maybe you're a doctor, you're a psychiatric doctor, you're a psychologist. You can help train people. So those are the type of things we are looking for. Also, medical doctors. The Nigerians are always proud of it that there are medical doctors everywhere. We have a lot. If you go to Houston, all the hospitals there, they are run by medical doctors. You see, it doesn't really, for me, I don't really care, because what is the point of having a lot of qualified medical doctors in the world that, you know, are not willing to give $5 for anything, and are not willing to come to Nigeria to support any hospital with their time? So, okay, look, you know, imagine if we have, in Nigeria today, we don't have doctors because everybody is leaving the country because the government is not treating them right. So, but we know it's not the fault of the citizens, it's the fault of the government, that the government is not treating the doctors right. So it would be a great thing if some of these doctors decide to come back once in a while to help the people with medical care, maybe a week. Okay, I know foreign doctors, white doctors that go to Africa once a year maybe once in 2 years. They spend a week or two helping hospitals and they go back. But we have people, African doctors, and the only thing is that people boast and say, we have a lot of doctors in the world, but where is their humanity? They say, okay, look, that if we just have, from all the doctors we have in the diaspora, if we just have them, going back to Nigeria, when they are in Nigeria, visiting their families, they just spend a week in a local hospital to assist. A lot of things will start changing. So for me, it's not just about thinking of oneself. There's so many things we can do to start making a change in our society. And it's not just a question of saying that, we have this, we have that, and we boast about it all the time. But it is more like, what are we doing to ensure that we are, actually making the impact that is necessary to make in life? So that is all it is for me. And I think that a time is coming that Africans all over the world, don't have the right of speech anymore. They don't have the right of speech anymore because we have to realize that, look, we cannot let the world to solve our problem. We have to start solving our problems. And if we are not solving the problems, or we are not willing to solve our problem, that automatically means that we have lost the right to speak. Okay. So talking about the right to speak, I have some people online, two people, somebody came here and ran away. I have Rex online, I have Okoche online. If you want to say something, you can say something, and I'll put you on live. Don't be shy. And if any other person that is watching wants to say something live, please come and say something. Let me hear what you think about the condition of Nigeria, about what we can do to rescue our society, especially from Edo State, because Edo State, we are really having it rough. It is. When you talk about crime, we are number one out there. Talk about poverty. I mean, I know the northern states, some of them are poorer than we are. We have Borno State that is just God-forsaken territory. But why it is very bad in Edo State is because Edo State is in a very rich state, rich in culture, in the sense that we have a kingdom. It used to be a kingdom, the kingdom, Benin Kingdom. It's still a kingdom, but because of lack of other better words, that's why we still call it the kingdom. There's nothing that in Edo State anymore that will let you think that this used to be a kingdom. So that's why it is a sad story. And the people in Edo State doesn't realize that the situation has gone so bad because people stay there and they're kind of satisfied with what is going on. So that is why we keep talking about it, because we want to see a bit of a transformation of the state. There's money in the state. I don't care how little the money that comes to the state is. I believe that every state in Nigeria has enough money today to transform the state. That's what I believe. Because if I was the governor of Edo State, I would just say to everybody, say, look, we have to concentrate for the next 6 months to get one single thing done. And we look for the most, difficult problem, the problem that is creating more problems in the state. If it is a problem of electricity, we're going to get it done. If it is a problem of education, we're going to solve it. We are not doing any other thing except that one single problem. All citizens will be energized, will be mobilized to face that problem and ensure that that problem is solved. That is how I will go about doing it. And every other problem will just stay there. If we don't, all the other workers will just stay there. No salary, we cannot afford it, but we want to solve this one problem. When that problem is solved, that problem will be generating money. Then we'll solve another problem, we pay another set of people, we start solving that. Within 3 years, we've solved the major problems in those states. Major problem right now is electricity. I know the government say, yeah, we're not allowed to produce electricity. That's not true. The law says you're not allowed to feed the national grid with electricity, but that doesn't mean you cannot produce it and use it in your own local in Benin City. You're not feeding national grid in Benin City. There's not even a national grid that you are feeding. So all that excuse that you cannot produce a whole power, that is nonsense. So if you want to decide that the next area of support you want to do is education, then you can do that. When Ambrose Ali was a governor of Edo State, he created 500 colleges, secondary schools in 4 years. He created a university, created 4 colleges of education, created a lot of things, and still got the road done in 4 years. So I don't see any reason why today, with all the money that is out there, that you say we cannot even have one single government school that is functional, a secondary school. There is no single government school in Nigeria, in Benin City today, that is functional, in Edo State that is functional. It's all immense. It is scary. It's really immense. So that is the state we are, and that is why everybody needs to raise their voice. Everybody needs to come out and raise their voice and say, look, we need to have a change. We need to have a change. And unfortunately, many of us are not talking yet. A few people that are talking. I see Anita Asabota here. I'd like to give you a shout out. She has been very vocal on the Nigerian issues, on things that are going on, and also coming up with solutions and looking at ways to solve things. I've never met her. We just we've talked, exchanged communication online on Facebook. That's just it. We have never met, but you see, when you see good people, even when they live very far away from you, you've never met them, you can see from what people are doing that what they are passionate about. So that is why I'm giving out a shout out. And we all can do that. We all can do that. We don't have to sit down and just take everything. Because when people are not talking, people are not shouting out, then other people kind of just have a free ride. Today, politicians are having a free ride in Nigeria because nobody spoke out. Pastors are having a free ride in Nigeria because nobody is speaking out until now. The Chinese are having a free ride in Nigeria because nobody is speaking out. So all the bad things simply go on because nobody is speaking out. So we need to start speaking out. And one of the ways to speak out is through the internet. And not only that, but when you are with people, the idea is to really let's start to discuss with other people, other fellow Nigerians, what the problems are and what are the possible solutions to these problems, and what the roles are, our responsibility as individuals, as indigents, as Nigerians. What is our responsibility to our country? You see, it's only Nigeria is one typical country that people don't talk about their responsibilities to a country. You will hardly see a Nigerian talking about my responsibility to my country. A Nigerian talks about their responsibility to their family, but never about to their country. Okay, it's a big difference there. And we talk about, but I have to help my brothers and sisters to go to school. I have to pay their school fees. I have to help my mother. I have to help my father. I have to give some money to my uncle. I have to do this. I brought my uncle a car. I brought this. But you hardly see Nigerians talk about their responsibility to the nation. But they don't realize that because people don't have a sense of responsibility to their nation, their country, that is one of the reasons why the country doesn't succeed. Because like I said in my morning presentation, Nigeria is a country, it's like a mother that has been abandoned by all her children. So that mother is miserable. The mother is not healthy. The mother is not eating well. And that's what Nigeria is. People will tell you different things and say, look, it is what do you call that guy again? Lord Lugard, it was his fault. It was the one that amalgamated Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country. So, I mean, people have different opinions about that. But the fact remains that even when Nigeria was called, Togo, no matter the name it was called, no matter, even when you have bring all the Cameroonians and Republic of Benin people, everybody inside, we could still make the country work because there's nothing wrong with Nigeria, but there is everything wrong with the people that live inside. See, those are two different things. There's something wrong with Nigeria. If you remove everybody from Nigeria today and we just move them politely to another country, then Nigeria will just be a perfect place. So the country Nigeria, the geographical location of Nigeria is a great place. You can have a good time there. You can live there. So there's nothing wrong with the geographical location of Nigeria. There's nothing wrong even with the political makeup of Nigeria. What is wrong with Nigeria is because the people who live in Nigeria, they are not pulling their weight. They've never done the right thing. So we have to start doing the right thing if we want to get something done. Okay. Somebody is saying this screen is very small for me. Yes. Somebody's writing and say we need to come together and believe we can make a change for ourselves. So that's true. We need to come together. So once again, if you want me to put you on, just raise your hand. I can put you on. I see some people are online, but everybody seems to be not willing to come live. So wherever you are, if you want to come live, you can come live. You can pop on it, and you can talk. If you don't want to talk, then it's just going to be a monologue. So, and the monologue is not going to last too long because I already made my speech, this morning. Okay. So, having said that, so we need to make that change. We need to make that change. And what I'm asking for is for that change to be made. And because of our society is so pessimistic, a lot of people look at me and say, a lot of people don't want to give me that benefit of a doubt and say, okay, look, this man means good for us. People want to, because sometimes people are used to just thinking bad of everything. So when I'm online, people say, this man is here to collect our money. Okay. But a lot of people don't know that, this man has his own money. This man is not out to collect our money. Also, a lot of people don't realize that, look, the time this man spent in doing this, if he uses the same time to do something else, he will get much more money. So people can think very well. They think like that, because if you look at somebody like me with all I know, and I can run any business in the world. I can go and do anything I want to do. So it is a decision that I took to do this. And this actually cost me a lot of money. This actually cost me a lot of money. I was just discussing, before I came alive, I was just discussing with my wife, how all this throwing around, all this thing I'm doing cost me over $1 million last year. This basically cost me over $1 million last year. Time that I spent in doing things with Nigeria, time that I should have, if I have spent it in running business, and the money that I will get from that, and sometimes I feel sad about it, because then I think, you just, like they say in Nigeria, you just lost $1 million like that. What do I have to show for it? Because I have not, I did not feel that I have made such an impact on the people. And I want to make that impact. So for me, it's like you spend all this time, all this energy, all this, all this effort, in Nigeria and for Nigerians, and financially, if you look at what I have gotten in place of that, it's more than $1 million. So, and I think, but then I look back and say, okay, look, I'm doing this for humanity. I'm doing this for humanity. And like in Nigeria, they say, I'm doing it for God. So that's what I call humanity. And so I don't regret it. I don't regret it, and I will never regret it. So why I'm always saying this is that people have to realize that, look, when people come up with the story and say, this man is doing this because he want to have our money, the people should realize that, oh, I have my money already before I started doing this. If I did not have my money, I couldn't do this, because the time I spend in doing this means that it's a lot of time. It's like I'm busy like minimum of 18 hours daily on this. So this is a very serious thing for me. Okay, so that's it. I see that there is still nobody who dare to talk. See, Rafael. At last, there's somebody who is brave enough to talk. So let me put Rafael on the line. I'm going to put Rafael on the line right now. Okay, Rafael, are you there? So I'm going to mute Rafael to talk. Okay. Let me see if I can mute Rafael to talk. It's strange that I cannot unmute Rafael to talk. So unmute Rafael to talk.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, Rafael, say something now.
Yes, exactly. Now I can hear you. I think I unmuted myself.
Okay, you unmuted yourself. So maybe that's the best thing to do.
That's great. That's great. I actually want to thank you so much, Dr. Aroms. It's a great job. It's a great job you're doing. I saw one of your videos online. I actually didn't pick up interest when you were talking about what happened with your farm in Nigeria and all those stuff. Right. I stumbled over, I've been following Dr. Adelaja for like 2 months now. It happened that it was just the time that they organized the HMT, the History Makers Training.
Okay.
I found out that you were also there. I said, look at this man. I saw him while he was talking about the project with General Electric on how to bring light, how we can have light, and it is possible. It's just that the government were not interested and all those stuff. I said, well, he's here in the HMT. Let me listen to him. That was how I actually started following you.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I actually want to thank you that you also involved in this. There are a lot of people who don't understand, to bring yourself forward and said you want to take on a task like this is very, very challenging, because eventually it is beyond the $1 million that we are trying to raise, because trying to pull that $1 million to use is going to take a more enormous task to achieve than raising the $1 million compared when you have to really put in consideration the place that we are coming from. You understand?
Yes.
It's an enormous task, and I actually want to thank you. It is good, and I also feel I don't want to. I've been listening to you, and I see you calling out that we shouldn't make it a monologue. When people begin to talking like this, I think it will be more interesting. That you have put together all these tools. It will also be encouraging that people, say their view, come in and say what they also think about the project. I actually want to thank you. And then maybe when we begin to follow you people with time, we will see what we can also do. I'm calling actually from France.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So yes, it is nice to that you came along. It is always nice to talk with people like you who are here to follow what we are doing, because we have said, Dr. Sunday Adelaja and I, that transformation can take place in Nigeria. Only people need to believe in it.
That's true.
Most countries, every country that was built by the people, isn't it?
Exactly. And
Yes.
you know, in fact, when I woke up, that was yesterday. I saw that you people have started this initiative to raise $1 million to rehabilitate the people that are coming from Libya. I started thinking, I said, this thing, it's possible. It's possible. People will look at it as something that is impossible until there is somebody you see doing it. And it's also possible to do so many other initiatives because we've waited on the government for so long. We can begin to do things for ourselves. And this thing will not cost people much. It will not cost people much. To find 100,000 people to bring like $20 together, we create a great change in our communities, that a lot of this poverty that we are talking about, by ourselves, we can begin to kind of alleviate it.
Yes.
It's a great task.
I totally agree with you because right now, in fact, in France, I don't know how it is done in France, but in many European countries that I have lived, we have community effort as well. Like I live now in a village. There's a new sport field that was developed by the community.
Yeah.
The community got some small contribution from the county, and they added money to it, and they built it. And now it's a beautiful place where you can go and relax, and the children can play around. So even in the Western world, people still contribute to make their community better.
Exactly. At least to the less privileged. In over France here, there are different initiatives that have been started by private people, getting support from individuals in the community to make life easier for those that are underprivileged, those that are earning very, 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 very little. You can raise up supermarkets. You can raise up supermarket where people can get these food stamps. They go do shopping because they can't afford it. That one is different thing. Even the electricity project you were talking about. And I'm very sure that an initiative like this can raise money to bring electricity to a particular area. When people see that these things begin to work, we can do it. We can.
Yes, it's like what that electricity you're talking about now. My intention was, if we could do something like that, you can put an industrial area next to it, like
you see,
that turbine can power a whole city in Nigeria.
Okay.
So if you have it in an industrial park, and not only that you will be powering the industrial park, you will have electricity to power the nearby city. So at least people can see that is working. And also that if there is a city in Nigeria now where you have 24 hours electricity, the type of business that will be booming in that city,
Yeah. It would drive traffic. It would drive traffic and business into that particular area.
Exactly.
It's a good initiative.
Yes, these things are not that difficult to do. Yeah. It's just that we have not been thinking. That's why we are not able to do them, because all great things must start from the mind.
Exactly. We just have to be patient. A lot of people might be skeptical. A lot of people, because Nigerians, we have trust issues. But I think that some people, you are going from the very first day that you came up with this initiative, somebody somewhere is going to fault it. You say, oh, what if you collect this money and they don't do this thing before you know it? But I think it's possible. We'll be able to do this one by God's grace.
Yes, we have to. Because, like I said, look, for me, we just have to run with this, because, look, I've been talking for months now, and we've been working. I said, look, at the moment, it has to go beyond the talking into action. There has to be physical action on ground, because if we get this thing done now, we can go to the European Union next month and say, look, this is what we have been able to do on our own. Please give us some support to do more, so that we can let our brothers and sisters go back home.
That's great. That's it. That's true. Yes. That's true.
Yes, and then you will see how supportive they can be. The reason why they are not supporting anymore, because nothing is done. They can give the government money, but the government is going to steal the money. So Everybody is confused. We're just watching. Okay.
That's true. That's
Yes.
true. When private initiative comes in like this, like charity to help ourselves, I think that one will also come forward. That one will help.
Yes. Okay.
It's a great thing. Kudos, doctor. I thank you so much. I am following you. During your review with Dr. Sunday Adelada, that you were organizing a webinar for web creation. I've registered actually. And,
okay.
I'm following your timetable. You said it's going to be every Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm following, and I also want to be part of it. It's a great
thing.
Thank you so much. The Lord will strengthen you and bless you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
So that was Raphael. He was the first brave person to join in the conversation. So yeah, this Anita Sebota is here, and she wants to have a chat. So I'm going to allow you to have a chat. If your microphone is mute, please unmute it, because sometimes I try to unmute people, but I cannot yet. Tell it is on mute now. Hello, Anita, how are you?
Hello, doctor. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. It's great to hear from you at last.
Right? Yeah.
We have been following each other on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true.
You have been very active, and supporting me. So it is finally great to be able to speak with you directly.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure. Thank you for all you've been doing. You've been so inspirational. Where we are from, it's really difficult finding inspirational figures like you. So we have to support anyone that comes up. That's why I cannot relent in supporting you anytime, any day. Thank you very much, doctor.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome. So yes, what is your take on what we are trying to do?
Oh, wow, it's wonderful. Finally, you are giving us an opportunity to shut up and do something about the situation. All we've been doing is talking and talking and talking. And yeah, that's it's good to talk in order to be able to, wake people's consciousness to the fact that there's a huge problem at hand. But we also need to move to the next stage. And this initiative, it's a step in the right direction. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I know you were listening to my broadcast this morning. It was a morning here. What do you think about the ideas that I was putting forward to use the money in Nigeria when it is received?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's good that you're starting with reorientating people. First of all, their minds need to be put right. Throwing money at a problem is never going to solve it. That's why Africa keeps receiving AIDS, and it keeps getting worse. The situation never improves because the monies are going into the hands of people that do not know what to do with it. They think, they think progress is how many houses you have, how many cars, the best cars on bad roads and all of that. By the time we raise money again and just give it to people like that, we'll return to square one with that kind of mindset. So saying that you're going to, first of all, train a group of people to go on to train other people who in turn, train these ones that are actually going to be receiving these monies, and also saying that you're going to remove them from their natural environment, which contributes in a huge way to the problems. Because those they look up to do not know any better. They look up to mothers, fathers, uncles, and aunties that their minds are even worse off.
Yeah.
They need to leave that environment. I've noticed while in Nigeria, I was fortunate enough to have lived and worked in different parts of Nigeria. And one thing I kept saying was that the youth in Edo State, they do not realize that if they just stay in school and do well in school, even in Nigeria, they have a chance of doing very well. Yeah. They do not realize that. They've not seen 22-year-olds working in Chevron. They've not seen, young people like we have in other parts of Nigeria. If they've seen such things, they would stay in school do well and move towards that path, but they do not see those things. So saying that you're going to move them away from that environment where all they see is what, continue to keep us in the circle of poverty, it's a very good idea. Take them to, places where they can see their mates doing things differently, and they will be bound to do things differently and succeed. So I agree.
Thank you very much. That is, some people feel that, I have a feud with those days. That is why I am saying that I will remove some people there. But I'm sure that people like you understand the psychological reason why I say that, and I thank you for the ability to express it. I don't know, when was the last time you were in Nigeria?
The last time I was in Nigeria was December 2014, almost 3 years now. Yeah.
Okay, you were in Benin City, right?
I was the last job I had in Nigeria was in Cross River State.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know if you have any experiences in Benin in Edo State, because I've said it very boldly. I said, look, I've been to a lot of states in Nigeria, but the type of decadence in Edo State right now is just mind-boggling. And I don't know if you have if you heard of any of such problems, or if you can relate to my opinion on that.
Oh yeah, I know everything about Edo State. Whenever I'm in Nigeria, I visit Edo a lot. I have families there, so I know Edo State very well. I know how people reason in Edo State. I know how they do not necessarily want to work, but they want to live a certain kind of lifestyle, that they cannot afford. You see, some people in Edo State right now, the only job they have is my person there abroad. That's their source of income. They dress well in the morning, they are just, loitering around, waiting for the next transfer, the next shoes they are going to receive, the next, clothes they are going to receive. They don't believe in themselves enough. These people have a lot of opportunities. They have more opportunities than some people in other states that I've been to. If you go to Cross River State and see the kind of poverty that people are in some areas, not necessarily in the cities, but in other local government areas, you see these people. But one thing about them is, since they know that they have a brother who went to school and then got a job in the ministry, you see them striving to write exams.
Yeah,
they're trying to do their best. They're thinking of scholarships, even in that poverty state. And before you know it, in another 10 years, they're doing very well. They are comfortable. While their counterparts in Edo State are still depending on handouts from their relatives abroad. They've not changed position in 10 years. They don't have, they've not, done any exams to remove them from where they were 10 years ago, to put them in a better standing. You come with an opportunity. They are recruiting teachers right now. You cannot get 5 people that have gone through teachers training college. The opportunities are there, but you can't get Benin people to fill those positions, and it's a problem.
Yeah. Don't you think that most of us actually contributed to the problems, because we, in the name of trying to help our families, we ended up actually contributing to the problems then?
Yes. I have had that issue on my page. I was talking about, helping people on my page one time, and a relative of mine, some family, somebody's daughter somewhere, thought it was a right to counter me because I've not done something for her. And I told her I do not encourage that sense of entitlement. I know it is a problem in Edo State, and I'll be the last person to feed that sense of entitlement. If you don't deserve anything simply because you are related to somebody. You see, even in the US today, I can be in the United States and a relative of mine becomes wins an election and becomes a political office holder. And I feel like I should just quit everything I'm doing here, pack my entire family and go back, because we are now in government.
Yes.
So I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to try to do anything for myself. I'm just going to go back home and get an appointment and start feeding on, the wealth of the nation from there. This sense of entitlement doesn't end with the poor. It cuts across the whole strata of the society. People just believe that because, my relative can now do something for me. That is why Imo State government will create a useless ministry, or what's it called, for the sister. That is exactly why. Because you have to take care of everybody. But if we begin to think like, I don't owe anybody anything, the only thing I owe even my children, is to train them. Once they are trained and they can stand on their own, please, by all means, move out of my house and stand on your own. Yes. I've done the best I can, not to talk of even relatives. If we can begin to think like that, then we won't be putting too much pressure on our political office holders to steal so much in order to satisfy so many people. Many people. People begin to crawl out of the woodworks as soon as they feel like somebody in their family is in a position to do something for them, and it is a huge problem. That has like you said, we do not help our relatives by continuing to spoon feed them.
Yes, you are right. Thank you very much. I wanted to start a campaign once, that we should stop helping our relatives. So I didn't, I cautioned myself on that people would just say that this man, not only that he's anti-Christ, he's anti-family. But basically I had the same problem, because I've always said it publicly, all the money I've spent with my family is more than over $500,000. And if you go to our family house and they say to you, somebody spent $1,000 here in the past 20 years, nobody will believe it. Yeah. Because even I go there and say, okay, where's the money? What was done with the money? And if you spend, how it is, if you spend, $500,000 in the United States, I mean, if you buy a house, the house will still be there. I mean, you could buy 2 houses with that money. And it will be, you can rent them out, it will be generating income for you, and it will still be there, and the value will have gone up. Yeah. But this is resources that is brought to Edo State, and it's just wasted. You can't see it. Yeah. And a lot of folks have gone through that. I mean, I saw people who have wasted all their money in Nigeria, especially in Edo State, and they go back home and start to struggle again, come back to square one.
That's true.
Yes. So do you think that the plans we have right now, can transform the society? Because what we are looking at is a transformation. We just want to transform the mind. If we have to send everybody to school in Edo State, we need to do that.
Yeah, it's a very good plan. The main thing, what I'm so excited about it, because we are going to be creating, whatever the plan is going to be creating, how do I put it now? A kind of role models. That's the word. You're going to be creating role models for others to see. If you see that a group of people have done something differently and benefited from it, they are more likely to follow such, routes into bettering their own lives. The reason why most of our people have died and are continuing to die on the route to Europe is because their role models made it over there.
Right.
It started, a little bit, but little by little, these people were their role models. They were the only examples of successful people they were seeing, and they followed. That is where the problem started from.
Yes,
if
exactly.
the most successful people in Edo State were nurses, Edo State will be known for producing the highest number of nurses in Africa.
Right.
So it's just all about role models, and that's why I'm excited about what you're doing.
Thank you very much. I highly appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Let's keep the fight going.
All right.
All right. Have a nice day. Yeah.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so that was Anita Asimota. She's a great supporter on Facebook, and as you all could hear, she's a very passionate person about solutions, not just passionate about talking about the issues, but she's passionate about the solutions to our Nigerian problems. And the message that is going on right now is that people need to realize that, look, it is not just the money. It is not the money. You can give Africa all the money in the world. Africa is not going to get better. It's because the people who are running Africa and the Africans themselves, they have to make the change. They have to make the mental shift from where it is now to a better place where they can start making the change themselves. And they can get assistance to get the change done, but it is not, nobody is going to do the change for us. We have to do the change ourselves. So that is where we are right now. So we need to start putting the change together, okay? So that is how we are. So let's see if somebody else is, willing to talk. If somebody else brave enough to say something. You see, people start to realize how challenging it is to be online. So that's why they prefer to watch me talk, because people are trying to stay away from talking. But I promise you, I won't put it on video. I think people were scared to hear that they were going to be on live video. But you won't be on video if you call in. You will just be your voice. I'll make sure that only your voice is on. So I promise that. That won't surprise you. Yeah. But you won't be on video if you call in. Okay, so you will not be on live video, as they say in Nigeria. I beg you. Okay, so yeah. So until if you want to talk, just raise up your hand. I think some people don't know how to raise up your hand. If you cannot raise up your hand, you don't know how to do. I see some people online here. I see Nicholas, Okotie, Rabio. I see Res. Everybody's online. I do Res very well. Res is always online when I'm talking. So I like to give him a shout out. He's always online when I'm talking. I see Nicholas is raising a hand up. So I'm going to unmute you. And if you're not unmuted, please unmute yourself before you talk, okay? Nicholas, how you doing?
Hello, good day, sir.
Good day, Nicholas. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, sir.
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from South Africa, sir.
South Africa, Johannesburg?
No, the city of Cape Town.
Oh, Cape Town. I hear you have nice weather there, isn't it?
Yes, the weather is used to be very good, but now it's extremely hot.
Ah.
Yes.
What is hot there?
It's about 36 degrees today.
Oh, that is hot. That is very hot.
Yes.
So what do you have to say today?
Firstly, I have to say thank you so much for the job you are doing, sensitizing us and trying to redirect us to a better position, or giving us a better foundation to start on. Because over the years, most people never knew that there is a right of doing things, because they were all born into the shoddy nature of life as it is in Nigeria.
Right.
And it's so unfortunate I was not around to listen to you in the morning to know exactly the plans you have on ground for the funds that will be raised.
Yeah.
So
the video is recorded. The video is recorded, so you can see it back after this show.
Yes, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. That was why I did not really want to talk initially. So I needed to have knowledge of what is going on before I can contribute positively or say something positive about it. But aside that, I I appreciate you so much because I have really learned much from you, and seeing that the ways I thought to be right before now, they were not even right at all.
Right.
And from what I have learned from you, I have been able to pass it along to other people, though it's been very, very difficult to convince a mind that has been made up.
Yeah.
Trying to change someone from something he has known all his life to be true, which is a lie. But I still believe with this enlightenment and a positive project being executed, people will begin to see the positive side of it, and they will buy into it completely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you. You mentioned that there were things that you learned. Can you please give the audience one or two things that you say, example of things you learned from listening to all these messages?
Yes, one of them is this, that I used to have a general notion that in Nigeria, nothing works. That whatever you put in, you will never get something positive out of it.
Yeah.
Because it is because of what I have been seeing and the way the society was programmed. And you're coming into the society with your farm experience. Because when the Fulani herdsmen attacked your farm, I was like, those guys, they've destroyed all this man has worked for. But you never relent, as every other person would have done by giving up. You went back, you did all you have to do, and today you said it is now in capable hands and things are working. So with that, this means the strength, the belief that everything good is possible in Nigeria. Only if we try to brace ourselves and continue pushing, irrespective of the obstacles around us, because obstacles are naturally set. There are people who benefit from those obstacles that they put on the way. So if we continue to do what we want to do that is positive, with time, they will give way and allow us to triumph.
Yeah, that is true. Thank you for your comment. Because just to add to that, when my farm was destroyed, it was very sad because we worked so hard to get it done, and because of the resilience to get it going, we started from scratch, built it up with a lot of fighting with people, with the government, with everybody. But today we are that far down that we have a program to produce 20,000 fish a month, every month for now, and then later we're going to increase it to 100,000 catfish every month. Okay. And that is over 1.2 million fish a year. There's a lot of production. What we've also done is that we can now accommodate other farmers, Nigerians in the diaspora who have been trying to make a farm in Nigeria, So what I've said to them today, if you want to just have a small fish farm, you can come into my territory, come into where I am, and then set up that spot. If it is 2 ponds, set it 2 ponds up. We have people there that can help you manage it. Your pond is not mine. So, but the security is done. I have trusted people around me that are working there, have people. So because of that, we have been able to extend that comfort to other people who want to do something there as well. So, and in line with what you have just said, if we say nothing works there, because every time you go there to do something, somebody will beat you up and then we destroy it and then you will go. Me, I will go. They will destroy me. I will go. John will go. They will destroy him and go. But because I have stood my ground, so now somebody can have claimed the right to stay. So somebody else can come. There's a guy, from Sweden is coming to my farm now. So we come and stay one small place there. So, okay, you start your fish business there. The other one, you come, you start there, you start there. So when you after you have 10 or 20 people, they have grown. Okay, now you can go to your place. You go and start there and secure that place so that when some of our brothers are coming back and sisters are coming back, you can also give them that helping hand. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Like that. When we go on like that, believe me, one day we are going to overthrow the idiots and
Yes.
create a new system. Okay? Yes. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much for calling, and I'll be running many shows like this that people can call in, and I appreciate to hear from people like you because it helps to build also that recognition that things can be done in our place, and it's also part of coming together to work together because it's actually the first time we are doing this. Nigerians come online and fight each other. That doesn't move anything forward.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, sir. And I still say thank you so much for this sacrifice you are making to give not just me, the generations yet unborn, a better future in Edo State and Nigeria as a whole. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for calling. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So that was it. That was Nicholas, and great story from him. Highly appreciate that. So this is folks. This is what it is, and I believe that when we start putting our brain together, we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable because if you talk to 100 Nigerians, chances are that people will come up with great ideas. People will come up with something interesting to say. People will come up with something that they are passionate about. But up to now, people, if you have your ideas, your passionate ideas, it's just you, yourself. Nobody cares about to hear them. There's also no platform to bring this message to other people so that they can understand, they can hear. Because as I listen to people, I learn a great deal from you. I am learning from everybody that talks with me, that send me messages and everything. There's a lot of things I didn't know before about Nigeria that I know now. And I'm sure that there are things you didn't know before that you are learning from me as well. So we kind of learn from each other. That is how life is. And in Nigeria, it's time we bring this forward. So, okay, look, let's start learning from each other. Because that is one of the things why we are failing. A typical example is the government of Edo State. The government of Edo State have no liaison with private citizens, no individuals. If you are not a part of the political system, their political system, then you are not a part of the government. If you are not today is APC, that is the government. If you are not a member of the APC party, you have no right of speech. Nobody listening to you at all. You might have the best ideas on that. Nobody, will listen to you. Talk less of even trying to work with you. So this is one of the reasons the system is failing. Whereas a true government is a government that looks for the best hand. So look, who is going to help us to do these things? So let's look for the best people. And it doesn't matter what political party the people are coming from. They can be from ABC or TDP or whatever the party is. The best people must handle the job. And if they are not in Nigeria, go to the diasporas. We have a lot of great people in the diasporas who have the knowledge, the acumen to do the job. Let them come and do the job. At least let them start it up. Let them start it up, and then let them train other people to accomplish the job. See, that is what a country should be doing that wants to develop. And that was what I was expecting from the governor of Edo State when he came into power, because he has said all these things in his electionary campaign that, when he comes to be a governor, he will bring all the good, great people. He let people come from diaspora, bring investors in, and come and do this. And talking about investors, before I go into that, please know that if you want to call in, just use the link under this video. There's a link under the video. And also there's a pinned comment there that just click on it is Zoom. If you click on it, if you are with a computer, it will install the software on your system and log on to the conference, and then you can raise up your hand. If you are using a mobile device, you need to install a Zoom app to log on to the system. So please, I want to hear your opinion. I think we can take one or two more calls before we go. So what I was saying is that talking about investors, in Nigeria, people don't really understand that, like in Edo State have a lot of people in the diasporas. The biggest investors are Nigerians in the diasporas. If there's a governor that is smart enough to realize that and be able to create an environment that these Nigerians in the diasporas can come and invest in and create a investment package, then you will see that billions of dollars will come into Nigeria. But the Nigerians in the diasporas don't want to invest in Nigeria because there is no trust. Nigerians are very scared of their own country. So if Nigerians are scared of their own country, then why should they come and invest in it? So, it is when the Nigerians are comfortable to invest in their own country, then others can come. And Nigerians would like to invest in their own country. But even when it is 2,000 euros, $2,000, 1,000 pounds, Nigerians want to invest in their country. So it is the duty of their leaders to make it more comfortable for them. Val Samson, you are on next. I'm going to click on you now to unmute you. I'd like to hear from you. So, Val, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Yeah, I want to appreciate you. I hope you remember the last time we spoke. We spoke for about an hour.
Yes.
So I'm so proud of what you are doing, and even this technology that you just provided for us to be able to be on live with you. That's great.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, somebody said earlier, I think it was Raphael, the problem with Nigerians is we have culture of mistrust. A lot of us, no matter how friendly we are, when I want to recommend Mr. Aroms to somebody else, even if we are classmates or we live in next door neighbor, and I know he's about to have an opportunity and somebody asks me about him, I will say, I don't know. Even if I know, I will say, I don't know. And sometimes the irony is, if somebody's asking Mr. Aroms about me too, sometimes he say, well, if it's about money you want to do with him, I don't trust, I don't want to be part of that. But if you are saying something else, I want to be part of it. So we need to go back home and work on those our cultural disbelief. I was privileged to attend a program in Allen Avenue. And this program was organized by a native, I think people are going to be surprised, was organized by a very big and one of the most famous church upon this earth, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They have their office and their chapel at Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. That was where I attended that program one Saturday many years ago. Some of the general authorities they sent to come and teach told us on that Saturday session that the problem they have with Nigeria is Nigerians don't trust themselves.
Yeah.
That they did a lot of research, even with church members. They discovered that when you want to send a message and it's not going to be B, B will never speak well of A. And even when you are with the two of them, they talk of each other that they are 5 and 6. They cannot do without one another. And as soon as you want to work with them on individual, none of them stick their neck for their brother. And that's a very big problem for us. So that is the first one. It has to do with the question of people asking us about your integrity to raise this fund. I want to tell Nigerians, tell yourself that between 0 and 100, let me sacrifice this to Mr. Aroms. Let's see how his initiative work. $100 will not kill us. $10 will not kill us. Not to talk of his even asking for $1. Let's put it as a seed investment and see. Let's see in another 4 or 5 years where this idea is going to drive And if we eventually succeed, it will be good for us all. It only requires you to have put $100. Consider the kind of money you send to people in that same society that doesn't trust themselves and they never give you results. So again, remember that if Aroms fail us, it will be on history that a man like this came online one time, and brought people together and defraud them like plan well. So there may be no second Aroms to come and fool us. So why not let's give him an opportunity instead of allowing his dream to go down the drain? So I want to beg all of us who are under this voice, it doesn't matter where you want to start the project, whether it's in Lagos, it's in Benin, it's in Ghana, as far as he's doing it for the black race, he's doing it for us to empower ourselves, we must try and support and see how it goes. We need a lot of enlightenment. We need a lot of education. So like I told you, Mr. Aroms, I will always come in once in a while. I don't want to take over the topic. I just want us to know that working with you is for us to tell ourselves that this is a new way to look forward, and we must learn to trust people with whatever they come up with. Let them make excuse for themselves. Let us not judge them, and let us not hold back our contribution.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, the good words you're putting in. You see, the thing is that I think we have to just keep hammering in the message, because what we are doing in a way is new. This has never been done in Nigeria, to say, okay, let's come together and do something for other people. So I can understand that people are pessimistic. People are saying in our work, people are saying, we're going to be ripped off, but it's a lack of trust. But what the problem I often have, and my wife asked me that also many times, and I don't have an answer for it, but she always asked me, why is it that if Nigerians easily fall for scams like MMM, and when that is so clear that this is a ripoff, and yet when somebody comes with some genuine intention, and then suddenly they are destructing, not trustful to participate in that.
Aroms, I have an answer for that. You know what happened? If you have told the callers to submit their brother's name for be opportunity for employment or those to start the class, they will send money along with it quickly. But because it's the planning stage, it doesn't look visible in another 2-3 months. They are skeptical. But so each time they fall, people is assuring them of immediate reward because of the poverty on that land. So people, when you tell them that, give me this tomorrow or before you get home, it's going to be there, they quickly give you because they want a quick reward. So that is where the problem is. As soon as you tell us now, the public, to say, hey, if you are sending the donation, send me your brother's name, your phone number. I'm telling you, your phone will just blast. Everybody want to quickly put their brother there.
That's a good one. I've never heard it like that before.
Yeah, that's the situation.
Yeah. So, but what happens when they should, if someone has done that, and they discover that, because I've heard people in Nigeria, when I was in Nigeria, people always say Nigerians are very good at buying forms. You say somebody will start something, we ask people to come and buy a form, and the form will say form is 2,000 naira, and people will be rushing to buy this form. I said, why do Nigerians like to buy forms a lot to do something? Somebody open a school, you say, okay, you come, you have to buy a form. Excuse me, you have to buy a form to write your name. You are the one that owns the school. So if you don't give me the form to fill in my details, then you keep the school. So my question to you is this. Why is it that people don't seem to learn from him? Because this is not the first time somebody say, okay, bring some money and send your name of your brother. We're going to do this and that. But it goes so wrong often. So why is it that people don't seem to be able to learn and differentiate between fake and genuine in this case?
Yeah, like I told you, I spent a lot of time working with Nigerians. A lot of us who claim to be educated, we don't really have anything upstairs because they've not been practically involved in anything. They've only heard the English. So what happened is that when people, Nigeria have a mentality of, if I have a paper evidence and we have trouble, we'll go to court, I'll show it. They don't know that it doesn't even count at court. So I think this would be, let me use this opportunity to tell people something today. If you have an agreement with somebody and you have a photocopy and you hide it, thinking that if the original lost, I'll present the photocopy. Photocopies are never admissible evidence in any law court in the world. So people should know that. If you give them photocopy, as the case is going forward, you cannot present the original, you don't have any case. I think let me use that as opportunity to tell Nigerians. So when you give them something to take home that they want to show the next person, they trust you with your money. But if you say, write your name there, your money is with me, everything will be all right. They don't have confidence. They won't let you receipt. Even rent. When people that live in your house for years, if you don't give them that receipt can spoil the entire relationship between you and landlord.
Yeah.
You know? So it's so funny. But like what I said, this is a new dawn. I've told you during our conversation that I'm very much with you. And I will be putting my input. What I want to tell Nigerians is that let us believe that Aroms who went back home, who had that farm, who was theirs, who showed us so many things that some of us couldn't do and some of us cannot do, has come back to say, well, I have my investment there, but I still have a clear idea of how we can help our brothers integrate back home, those who want to go back home. Because I want to tell you, I read yesterday on Facebook, very interesting. A guy said, how can Obaseki give me 20,000 in a month? And he said he's going to give me for 3 months.
Yes.
I would better trek back to Libya, because when I was working in Libya, I will make that money in 2 days. And I earn about 500 or something a month. And I was helping my family back home. So the question people were asking the boy, which part of Libya did you stay that you make that kind of fortune? So people want to know. So in case they want to to go back, they want to know the side to go. But they did not listen to that boy when the boy said, well, that is where I was working before I was arrested. The question is, who arrested you? Are they the same Libyans that arrested you for deportation? If they are, why do you want to trek back to Libya again? So I just want you to understand. You see, the boy does not see meaning with 20,000 because he has traveled. And you know, travel is learning. He has traveled. So what that kind of person needed was, you ask him, all the time he spent in Libya, what did you acquire? What do you think you can do here that you can call your own? That guy doesn't need to work for nobody. He needs to be thinking of what he can do for himself, that he can call his own. That's the only way he can get satisfaction. Civil service money will not be okay for him. Free handout will not be okay for him. He wants to be involved in his life. You understand? Because somebody has made 500K in a month, and you are not giving 20K, and you are telling him it's going to be 60,000 in 3 months. That guy doesn't see sense in those English. You know? No. So I just want us to understand that we are going to, like both of us agree, we're going to take time telling our people to know what is good and what is bad. When we're able to do this, it's going to be slow. They are not going to understand one day, but I'm sure as people are listening to us, they're going to learn. They have a lot to benefit. They have a lot to benefit, especially if they are patient with themselves, you know.
Right.
So, Aroms, I think if you still have one more question, I would take, because I would like other brothers to also have the opportunity to come in. I would not want to take over the time so that, you know, we have to learn to share, you know.
Yes, I have one more question for you, because I really want us to, since you saw the guy yesterday, because I mean, you read that article, I read it as well. Somebody sent it to me. Yeah. And exactly what I was thinking before I read the article, that you cannot just, people in Nigeria are used to politicize everything without thinking about it properly. My opinion is that not everybody that is going to Italy through the, the sea is trafficked.
Yes.
So there are some people who just go willingly, and that is, nobody is trafficking them. In fact, they are trafficking themselves. So we need to differentiate that. But then you have a group of people, especially women, who are being trafficked, who are deceived to go through that channel. But you have a set of people, because if these people, these returnees that come back now, I see that some of them were holding a check of 200,000 naira in the church, and they didn't look happy to me. They didn't look happy to me. People look at them and say, this man, they are giving you a check of 200,000. You are not happy. You know, who do you think you are? Go back to Libya. You're ungrateful. I have the opinion that, look, this man doesn't look happy because he's feeling probably that, look, this small check they're giving me now, it's not going to be enough for anything. And what is your take about that? You know, in addition to what you have just said.
Let me put it this way. First, I will use this opportunity for the very first time, tell our politicians that we all are going to 6 feet. If they dig your grave a little above 6 feet, maybe you are going to hell because that will be too deep for you. And right. if they bring you up to like 2 feet deep, which is shallow, I'm sure you may not even get to heaven. We already know we are all going to 6 feet. What am I trying to say? The only value we have in this world is this voice at which I'm talking to you. Every other thing about us has no value. It's this voice that I'm able to reason, tell you what is inside me as a person that makes sense to all humans. I don't know why politicians did what I want to tell you today. It was the politicians, the police that created the problem that led people to Libya. Hold me accountable with these statistics. I say it with all sense of responsibility that more than 2/3 of the people that died in Libya or are in captivity in Libya that are on their way to Libya are people that were backriders across Nigeria.
Yeah.
When the politicians descended on them, they did not use wisdom. The wisdom would have been, after you gave them deadline to stay off the street and they refused, as you seize their motorcycle, even if it's 20,000, you give that guy. You take the bike, go and sell it as a scrap metal or whatever, give them 20,000. Say, return this bike to government, take 20 or 30,000, think of something else to do. They seize everything forcefully and they destroy them. They forgot that this guy has an arrangement that most of the bikes were not owned by them. People bought it for them on balance and carry. Some of them have not even finished paying. Some of them have 1 day, 1 week to win over the bike to become theirs. And they were taken off the street. What did they think? Their own was to ask people, what do I do? I'm going to be owing this man. Every time I wake up, my neighbor is going to ask for his bike, and I can't bring it from the police. So they begin to enter desert. That's how they all traveled, thinking wherever life takes them to, they go. Some of them also have wife who discovered that my husband has left more than 3-4 weeks, thinking I will hear from him. I'm not hearing from him. He cannot abandon me with these children. They also become to think about alternative that we're giving, prostitution, ideas. We are coming, people were not, so that's how they went on that massive and very destructive journey. Like you said, everybody on that trip has, just as we have different faiths, everybody have different reason to be on that journey. But I must tell you, that journey route has been there for a very long time. That route, we have the route to Cape Verde, to Tunisia, to Morocco, to Libya. But unfortunately, I don't know why. I cannot explain. But I feel that the Libyans descended on Africans because when they were fighting for Gaddafi to remain, the Africans never supported Gaddafi to be in power. So I think they feel betrayed by Africans. Maybe they take vengeance on us. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm not holding brief for Gaddafi. But if you follow the philosophy of Gaddafi and what he promised the world, that after my death, Africa and the rest of the world are going to regret for a very long time his absence. And those are the kind of things we are seeing today. But that does not hold them to take the life of any human. But I want to say that government, as you are bringing them back into the system, treat them the way you treat the Niger Delta people. Treat them the way you treat them. Give them a program like you gave to Niger Delta, not this piecemeal. Put their name, give them a good pay like you gave to Niger Delta. Put them to school, those who want to go to school. Give them good training. That will attract them. Don't tell them you want to give them 20,000 a month. It doesn't make sense. If those in Niger Delta who put arms against government, who destroy oil pipeline, some of them were sent to South Africa for training. Some came to United States for training. Why won't you help these people that went to grave? They went to graveyard, they return back. Why not make them appreciate their country for coming to rescue them by giving them a good pay? Let me tell you, in all fairness, I'm not too sure outside government and multinationals like Guinness and Pepsi-Cola in Nigeria, private individual who own like pool office, restaurant, booker or whatever, I'm not sure they pay more than 15,000 for anybody working with them.
Yeah.
So if they don't pay more than 15,000, how much is room in Edo? How much is electricity bill? How much is transport? How do those people really survive? There's a lot of trouble there. Like I was telling you during our private conversation, we don't even have face me or face you house in Benin anymore.
Yeah.
So how can they pay for flat? And remember, we don't have the culture that allow us to share. Maybe we rent a flat, we share three friends, we share it and pay the rent, like what we do in abroad. They don't do that in Nigeria. We don't sleep in each other's house. So all the houses you have in Nigeria are flat. Politicians are stealing money. They are building flat, duplex. Who's going to rent them? When we were growing up in the 80s, we have passage house that allow the poor man to rent one room in 10-room buildings. You understand me? Things like that should be integrated into the system. Government can build passage houses and make it affordable. So people can rent us for 2,000 and still have some savings. I'm not sure. You can find out Aroms, so maybe people will call in. I'm not sure those guys that do clerical work for pool office can earn more than 5,000 a month. I'm not sure. No matter how bad is the economy, I'm not sure. Because where are they going to get it from? The man that is going to pay. You understand me? So this Edo State pool office used to hire a lot of people. Restaurants used to hire a lot of people. At the time, restaurants were dead. People were pushing cart. They would put their rice on cart and be rolling it in the street. There you have some other miscreant coming to come and hold them to pay 500 or 200 a day for rolling cart with their food before they sell. Yeah. And a lot of things went into bizarre, you know. So I want you to understand that I appreciate what you are doing, but government must say, even if all of us are not complaining, these few ones that came from Libya should be integrated with the same value that we are giving to the militant. You understand me? They are not from Benin alone. They are not from Edo alone. They are Nigerians. No. One girl was interviewed in Benin. She said she's from Delta. That's what she said during that interview. She was putting the Muslim scarf on Facebook. If she's from Delta, but she was being received in Benin, it could be that she's either having a link to Benin or she must have grown in Benin, but she still claims she's from Delta. So I'm saying those kind of amnesty that was given to those who lay arms against the country, and we were afraid of them, and we gave them good opportunities. Some of them are good people now. They went to school. So what of these people? Give them the same opportunity. Give them good money. You understand? Even if you want them to clean the road across Nigeria, let that one be massive employment. Tell them, deploy them everywhere. Let them clean highways. Give them like 20 to 30,000 monthly. You understand me? Let it be a permanent job. They are clearing highways. Let them have choice. You understand? So let us know what we are spending money for, and let them know that they will really receive and their life change. There are many work they can do for Nigeria. That Nigeria will be happy that when this people came, they gave them a work. It's not about farming or no farming. There are highway people who can think of highway, gutters. There are things to be taken care of in that country that can give, in case you don't want to give them the money free. You can make them cleaner in government offices, across all federal offices. It's okay. We're going to hire people now who are going to be cleaners. They will be cleaning the windows, cleaning everywhere, taking care of it. You understand me? So that will be like their daily job, and they will be happy. They will be in the system. Don't just receive them, give them money, let them go and sleep. What of after the money finish in 3 months? And this guy, the landlord is waiting for rent. The mother is old. They sold their house. They sold their property. His children has grown up. How is he going to pay school fees from 20,000 you gave to that man? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So we must think deep. Politicians, I'm begging you guys, try to know that we are all going to the same fate. There's no, many people say, there's no golden death. Whether you die by a motor accident, you sleep, you refuse to wake up, You slept on the top of a woman like one of our commissioners did those days in a Precious Palm Royal Hotel. One useless commissioner that died with a lady then. Everybody is going to grieve. Death is death.
Yeah.
You remember that story when one commissioner?
No, I was not there then. I was not there then. Okay, Fa. Thank you very much. And you've been an interesting story, and I hope that I'm sure we have learned something from it. So I'd like to hear from you again next time when we are live. So
no problem. Just leave me a note when you are coming on, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so any more? We're looking for one more person. Otherwise, we are going to be rounding up because I've taken some of your time, and it's a 1 hour 30 minutes program. I don't want to be caught up by the system and probably shut up by itself. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is it for me today, and I'd like to thank all of you very much for this live broadcast, this interaction. I like to have this type of interaction often because it gives really other people the opportunity to hear also opinion from other Nigerians all over the world. So people think, this Mr. Aroms is crazy, he talk too much. But some of the things that I'm saying, other people also are saying the same thing. Other people also have the same ideas. So it is not only me that is saying it. You guys heard from the staff, from Anita Asemoto. She was very vocal, and she's from Edo State as well. She knows a lot about Edo State, so it was great to have her, And then we just have Fals speak with us about also other things about the situation in Nigeria. So we all know, and we all are also beginning to have a lot of ideas on how these problems can be solved. So some of my solutions, they are not that alien solutions. They are things, practical solutions. Because of our experiences in the diasporas, we have understood this type of solutions, and we are ready to bring them forward to Nigeria. And I'm sure that by working together, we'll get there. So let's just keep hammering, let's keep pushing, let's keep working. And guys, the link is there. We're going to add it to this page again for those people who want to donate. Please feel free to donate. Mr. Aroms is going to give you the assurance. I'm not going to eat your money. I'm not going to eat your money, and that's number one. Number two, I'm not the only one involved in it. Dr. Sunday Adelaja is involved. If this man is a great man, and he has seen the world. He has money of his own. So we are not hungry people that want to go and take money from ordinary people. That's not who we are. If I wanted to take money from people, I'll go and set up a church, because I know that Nigerians fall for church very well. And if by the time we preach, not all this preaching they are doing in Nigerian church, by the time I will preach, Holy Spirit will come down by itself, and the money will open the wallet, and all the money will be coming out. But I know that is not what God wants from me. That is not. That would just be ripping people off and making fun of people. That's not what people like me do. So we want to keep it real and do the right thing. So we're going to do the right thing with this money, and let's start a change. When these changes started, we're going to create new role models, and we're going to have other people who look and say, hey, you see what these people are doing, we can do the same too. So instead of people raising 419 money, people will go and raise money to do something good. Today, when bad things start in Nigeria, it just propagates. It's like when people were doing burial. The bigger the burial, the bigger the burial. So now, when you want to do burial, you block roads, you block streets, you block everywhere. Because that is now it. It's the same thing people are doing wedding. Before, we poor man could just get married. It was finished. But these days, no. You have to have introduction, and you have to close the road. You have to buy a cow, you have to buy a goat, you have to buy everything. And then when the wedding comes, then you have to go and see the pastor, you have to carry yam, you have to do this. So before the wedding is finished, you spend 1 million naira. Okay? So that's what is going on. So Nigerians have a way of just amplifying everything. So when good things start happening in Nigeria one day, like what we are doing now, you will see how Nigerians will just amplify it. This one will say, hey, let me go and I will go and do 20,000 youths in Ogun State. Then I will say, yeah, I will do 40,000 youths in Sokoto. because the good thing has arrived. People want to show off with it. So we want to create a new cool, that it has to be cool to compete with good things and not with bad things. So that's a new cool I want you and I to create, and somebody has to start it. And, so I'm a frontline on it with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that. And some other time we'll talk again. So I'm ending the broadcast right now, and I'm going to stop it here.